Instagram Live, we're good. And we are on YouTube good now. So we're both on YouTube and we are on Instagram Live. Just in case you want to get the audio recording of today's conversation, you can find it on our YouTube channel, Energize Us EDU. But how is everybody doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. How did your week end up? We had 5 full days. 5 full days. Did we get to learn anything? Did a new situation come up? Did a new conversation that you never thought you had before come up? Did you have a new opportunity to show your leadership skills? Did you have a code question? Did you have a business question? I know once again, there's a few individuals who went to the growth convention and they all said the same thing. They wanted more business conversation topics. So I wanted to go over some more Q&As with you guys to see if we can ease some of your pains. What I also have planned for you guys is October, we have our Niagara Falls trip for only 20 contractors. So this trip is going to be specifically geared towards contractors so we can have a private masterclass CEO session. So that's going to be coming out shortly. We know the next event we're going to be hosting is going to be a local event, local to myself here in Connecticut. We're going to actually be holding a contractor meetup in my home, at my backyard. We're going to throw some meat on the grills. We have some guests coming in, flying in even from Florida to talk about business strategies. And we broke it down to 3 topics. 3 topics that we're going to go over with the individuals who come over to our house. So I'm not trying to tell people to come over, fly in. We're trying to host a local event. But we have individuals from New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania showing up. And we're going to have a good afternoon. We're going to have some Brazilian steaks. We're going to have some veggies. We got the families involved. So if you guys want to come and bring your wife and kids, they can play with our kids. You know, we have just a modest house, simple, modest house, but we just want to basically open the doors for everybody coming in, share that opportunity with you guys. But we have a special surprise. So Patrick Bet-David, as you guys are aware, he is the author of many books, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, and Your Next 5 Moves. Your Next 5 Moves. Plan 1, local. Yeah, I got to go back out there, California. But Patrick Bet-David, our business advisor, you know, the one Valuetainment, the one that I spent time in New York City with in Yankee Stadium. So Patrick Bet-David, he's a close, very close friend of ours now. Been working with him close to a year now. And what we're going to be doing is holding this meet and greet, this contractor meetup in my home with 20 other contractors. No cost, no nothing. Everyone just come over. I'm going to get to enjoy, spend time with you. You guys already know them, like Stellman, Figueroa Electric, New York Sparky. We got some guys who are in HVAC going to be coming. We got MA Master Sparky, Connecticut Master Sparky. We got like Diamond Electrical Supply. We have so many individuals who are going to be coming over to our house, and we just want to provide that hospitality for them. But what's exciting is we have Patrick Bet-David's #1 sales guy from Valuetainment coming. His name is Leo. So Leo's going to be coming with his wife. I don't know if his kids are coming, but he just wanted to show appreciation. So he's going to be coming. What's so excited about this is Leo and PBD. That's the 2 people I've been working with as they were helping us develop this school and working together. So anything you guys have business question wise that you want to bounce off Leo, this is the opportunity to do so. We know we have some changes that are coming up for the rest of the year, events that we're planning, and even more events coming. Like we have our first virtual summit that we're going to go to, and we're going to be speaking at it, talking about the need and the urgency of bringing people into the skilled trades. So that's going to be in October. But the next immediate meetup we have is next week in our home in Connecticut. So if you guys are in the New York City tri-state area and you guys want to come down, feel free to grab some food. It's a la carte. We'll have it ready for you guys and get to meet some of the biggest names in the game over here in the Northeast. Connecticut, Sparky, Master Sparky, New York Sparky, Figueroa, Stellman, Diamond Electrical Supply are just some of the few. We also have individuals like Edgar, who's going to be visiting. He went to the Growth Convention, flew out to California, and he's here in Connecticut. We have a few individuals who were in the New York meetup when we were in Times Square. So this is just an opportunity to get to meet with you guys more one-on-one, get to hear more about your story, see how you guys are processing everything, and just, keep growing together as a team. So once again, we're excited for the opportunity to keep spending with you guys, growing with you guys, learning from you guys on ways of what the industry needs and how we can now, equip ourselves and give all that value back to you guys. All of this is only possible because you guys taking the chance on us. We know it's a rough start, and we know we're learning a lot, and we're just super grateful for all the supporters we have, donations coming in. We have individuals in our school that we were able to reimburse them for their schooling because we had a sponsor donate at the Growth Convention. So just opportunities like this is really amazing because we are trying to do our best. We're trying to keep up with the demand. We're trying to supply it with the value. We know things are shaky, but we're here to grow with you guys. So we truly appreciate everybody who's been working with us, everybody who's learning with us. Once again, we're never going to say we're number one. We're never going to say we're the only channel doing this, that. No, we want to focus on what can we learn. The second you say you're number one, the second you think you're King Kong, the second you think you're 10 out of 10, then that's when growing and learning stops. And we know all of us personally, figuratively, physically, life tells you from experience, you never stop growing. So why are you going to always try to be number one? I don't want to be number one. I want to keep learning. I want to keep growing. And at the end of the day, value transcends anything you can offer. But we appreciate all you guys. So today, we know this week we already had a few master classes. We did it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now today's Friday. So today there's nothing scripted. Today's just an open floor discussion with you guys. Let's go over what we talked about this week. So yesterday we had a master class and we talked about teaching individuals rather than telling individuals. And we talked about how that affects the skilled trades. It affects the new people coming in, that they don't see the longevity of the trades because, hey, why are we going to jump into the trades if it's so hard? Why are we going to come into the trades when there's so many hard-headed individuals? That's things that we have to keep in mind. Tuesday's masterclass, we talked about keeping standards for yourself, for your company, and for your family. We don't want to sacrifice standards for profits. We don't want to sacrifice standards for people. So just remember that. Then we also talked about in our masterclass this week on Monday, talking about qualities of leadership. We want to maintain a viewpoint equal to leaders. We want to be in a business of leaders. We want to be in a business of creating other leaders. And then we also talked about, are you ready to join the skilled trades? Are you ready to becoming a contractor? And those are where we had Peter Galligan and Nick Gentile, and we were helping them out with their pricing book. We talked about their estimating. We talked about how are they going to charge for the projects that are coming up down their pipelines. So those were 4 master classes we held this week, and it was an amazing opportunity. Share our insights, one-on-ones with you guys, hear your feedback from the field, and we just continuously want to keep growing in that aspect. But today's Friday is Q&A, open floor discussion. I tweaked my shoulder today, so if I start spazzing out, you guys know why. Messed it up bad, and to the point where it hurts to twist. So if I start going like that, you guys know why. But anyway, we're going to open up the floor. It's already been 10 minutes in. Appreciate you guys. It's officially 9:30. Q&A, open floor. Give me some business question topics. Or would you guys like to hear the 3 topics we're going to go over when I have the meet and greet next week at my house? Because if we can go over those topics, it'll actually help me prepare. Or here's the thing. So we got 2 options that we can talk about. We can talk about 3 topics. You guys ready? Let's talk about this. This is a video, a long form video we're making for YouTube. Boom. So we got 3 topics that we can talk about. I want to know what you guys think. Here we go. So first topic, we can have an open floor discussion, Q&A, just questions, answers. We can do that tonight. Our second option is we've been invited to speak at a panel conference in October in front of the board of NCCER. That's our school curriculum. That's the curriculum that has the publications and schooling for ABC, IEC, and the union. We're going to be speaking in front of their board as a presentation. So option one, we can do a Q&A session, just question and answers about business, leadership, public speaking, anything you guys want. We can talk about the 15-minute presentation I have titled Redefining the Skill Trades Beyond the Hype. Or we can talk about a long-form video that we're developing, and we're going to be talking about the labor movement, the union. And is the union still needed today's day? Those are three topics. You guys let me know what you guys want to talk about. You guys want to talk about the union? You guys want to talk about Q&A session for contractors, leadership, business questions? Or do you guys want to talk about the skilled trades labor shortage? You guys choose. But those are some articles that I'm going to be working on this week. So any of them, I'm open to talking about because it's only going to help me get better practicing, speaking, and talking about them online and out loud. So no pressure, guys. Let me know what you guys think. What are you guys hungry for? What are you guys hungry for? Mape, I have a question. I say Q&A. Beautiful. Anybody else? Anybody else? Thank you, Mape, for making a decision, brother. Let's do it. Let's do it. Q&A sessions. Today will be a light Friday, guys. Q&A, Q&A, Q&A. Let's do it, Mape. If you want to jump on video, let me know. If you guys want to text it up, let me send a request for you, Mape. Boom. Let's see what we have. No. All right, give me your question, brother. And if you guys are just tuning in, today we're doing a Q&A. We're doing Q&A questions. So if you guys have any business questions, let's process them together. Let's do it together, guys. So don't feel stressed, but send your comments down below and we'll get to them one-on-one. And if you guys don't have any questions, I have 3 topics that we can talk about that we're going to be going over at the August 3rd meetup at my house. We are going to go over 3 topics. So I can start writing those topics down just in case Mape doesn't write his questions. Best way to approach a wealthy customer that is not paying and the job is completed. Oh, bro, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what I appreciate about that question is we can break it down. Is your first year by what do you get leave? Okay, so Mape, let's pin that question. What I appreciate about your question, it's very direct to the sense where we're not talking about hard skills. We're not talking about the work because the work was already completed. So now we're talking about soft skills. We're talking about the way bankroll. We're talking about invoicing. So we're talking about communicating with the customer. So the first thing that pops up into my mind when I read this question, I know it's not a hard skill question. So it's a soft skill. So when we're working on a soft skill, it's leadership, communication skills that is going to drive this conversation towards its answer, right? So communication skills, leadership skills. Right now, when you say the best way to approach a wealthy customer, when I read that question, there is filler words in the sense where it doesn't matter what type of customer you have. Wealthy, poor, at the end of the day, you took the job, you took the contract, he signed the contract, they are your customer. It doesn't matter if they're wealthy. It doesn't matter if they're broke. They are your customer. So at the end of the day, you are working with someone that has that hired you, and you agreed to provide this service for that individual. So we know just by your question, we're processing it. It's not a hard skill because the work was completed. So we're talking about soft skills. We break it down to leadership and communication skills. The next question, the next thought to have is, how do you approach a wealthy customer? Throw out wealthy because he's your customer. Sign the contract. You already did the work. If he was broke, you wouldn't have taken the job. If he was wealthy and you didn't know he was going to not pay, you wasn't going to take the job. At the end of the day, he's your customer. Leadership, communication skills. How do you approach a customer that is not paying a job? Now we go down to the terms of agreement. Did you speak with him? Did you speak with the customer one-on-one? Did the contract have an estimated deadline when it came to payment plans? Did it come out with, hey, terms of engagement? Did it come with estimated disbursement of funds? Those are the first immediate two questions. Did you finish the job? For example, did you finish the job ahead of schedule? And you're sitting back assuming he's just going to pay you without you telling him he finished the job? Or did you finish the job and maybe he's so stressed with all the other contractors that he hasn't got to you yet, or he forgot? Is this a project that's a homeowner special, as in the homeowner's running as GC? Or do you have a middleman, a project manager or GC that you can approach this question to? That's something I want to start asking you. What are the terms of the contract? Have you communicated with anybody? Is there anybody to communicate with? Is there a GC, or is it directly the homeowner? Is a homeowner GC? There you go. So all communication is going to go with the homeowner. And just like every experience, we know so many individuals, so many contractors choose not to work or charge more for a homeowner GC because we understand that they don't have all the skills. They don't have all the soft skills to be a homeowner GC. We already know it's going to be a headache. We already know things are going to be delayed. But also homeowner GCs, the reason why they're the GC is because they don't have the funds or resources to pay somebody to run the project. They may be already over budget. So those are all things that are already running through your mind by experience. And I know when we were talking about in growth together, when we talked about people's prices, right? And you said, hey, sometimes if I'm new in business and I haven't had a job in a while, I might have to change my prices. So with that context in mind, if you didn't have a job in a while and then a job comes up and it's a homeowner, even though our body's telling me, hey, no, I hate working with homeowner GCs, but I haven't had a job in 2, 3, 4 weeks, I'm going to take this job. But if you take the job, you have to be self-aware that, hey, this is a potential headache coming up. In this scenario, ooh, that hurt. In this scenario, we just found out there is a headache. So now let's process the thing together. I'm going to read some of the comments that you just said, brother, because I know some are flooding in. Handling customers that are comparing quotes to low estimate. Oh, RK Electric. That's a different question. We'll get back to you, brother. Peter, follow the contract to the T and then file a lien if he doesn't pay. Exactly. But before that happens, Peter, I always recommend communication. Remember, power versus force. Communicate. Have the courage to have a conversation. You want to take a neutral approach first, then willingness, and then accepting and reasoning. Power moves. Remember, power versus force. So before you go to the lien idea, communicate with the homeowner. You know it's a homeowner GC. Mape, terms of paying were clear in the contract. Cool. Now you have the contract in front of you. You both agreed to the contract. Have you now spoken to the homeowner personally? Did you have an estimated start date and completion date? That's another good question for the contract portion, Peter. Tennessee, it's unfortunate, but homeowner GCs are notorious for things going south in their own projects. 100%. Tennessee had the same issue. And then he decided, hey, when I do have to do a job for a homeowner GC, I have to bump up the prices because it's too much of a headache. Journey Out or C10, Gallo 4K. If you're looking to go for a license, go for the top, brother. Why are you going to stay complacent? Peter, in some states, if you don't have dates, your contract can be beaten. Correct. Journey Out or C10, you prefer. Gallo, I always go for the biggest license. I always go for the best. Because if you get your journeyman, are you going to just stay complacent as a journeyman? No, you want to work towards your C10. You're 100% correct. So Mape, those are some questions to consider. Okay, brother? You have your contract. Now you have to have that conversation with them. Remember, you have to have and realize power versus force. You want to have the courage to have those crucial conversations. You want to be neutral in your approach. If you go in guns blazing, you're going to turn somebody off. Then you have to have the willingness to understand them, accept their concerns or accept their deadline, accept that, hey, I might not have the money right now. Reason with them. And that's when reasoning comes in. Power versus force. Beautiful chart. Once again, if you guys haven't read the book, Power versus Force, truly amazing. So, Mape, we know you took a homeowner GC. Many homeowner GCs don't have the experience to run a job or the resources. That's why they're doing this rather than hiring a project manager. But yes, if you have the contract, if you have the terms and agreement in that contract, if you have the deadlines, now you have to enforce that contract on the homeowner with tactfulness. Approach the homeowner with tactfulness. Remember, they're probably already stressed with all the other contractors. You're not going to be the first one to say, hey, where's my money? You understand? Homeowner is going to be with their guard up. They're already going to be embarrassed. Tactfulness. If you approach them in a demeanor that they feel respected at the end of the day, they're going to have that communication with you. Now, God forbid, knock on wood, none of that happens. They're ignoring you. Then you go down the path of lawyer, liens, litigation, all those things to now protect yourself from the moving headache. But once you go down that road, you're going to not see nothing for 90 days. You're going to have the hearing. You're going to have the lien. It's going to be a headache, and you're still not going to get paid. And now you have to pay for all those processes. Something to keep in mind, all right? But approach the contract to the homeowner and have that crucial conversation with them. That's a very good question that you had, Mape. A lot of people go through that. You don't understand. A lot of people go through that, and people don't genuinely know how to respond. But when it comes to us in the skilled trades, we usually have two types of headaches: hard skill versus soft skill. It's either on the field issue, either a code question, a failed inspection, you hit something that you shouldn't have hit, you damage something, customer, employees, hard skills. Then you have the soft skills. When it comes to invoicing, finances, balance in the book, conversations, there's different ways on approaching two different types of questions. Mape, thank you so much for that. Did that help you out? Or did you want another answer? So sorry about that. Let me know what you think below. But if you guys are still on, ask the next question so we can get ready for that. Thank you, Mape. Progress payments are also very helpful when dealing with GC or homeowners. Correct. Sometimes that big bill up front could be tough to look at, especially when it comes to paying. If you don't have those terms of disbursement fees, you know, it can be slap them upside the head. What kind of job was it? New construction? So that's a question for Mape. Mape, Tennessee is asking what type of construction was. Whatever it was a project with a timeline. How about you guys? Any other question? That was a good one. That was a very good question, Mape. Anybody else want to process another question together? Give it to me, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Mape, that was a very, very good question. How do you handle that? I would love to hear the update on how that ends up, how you had that conversation with the homeowner, as well as what did you do or what agreements you guys came to, because those are going to be excellent opportunities to learn from and to grow from, because guess what? It's going to continuously happen. There's things to mitigate it. There's things to keep those things from happening again. There's things to keep in mind when it's a homeowner GC. Those things are going to pop up from time to time. But I'm very proud of you for facing it. You're not freaking out. You're tackling it in a professional manner. Just keep up. Remember, at the end of the day, you're in business to stay afloat. You're in business of providing service. So you have to deal with people like that from time to time. But I'm very proud of you, brother. Very, very, very proud of you. Some guys disagree, but for some jobs, I have a large amount of progress payments. So the way they aren't paying larger invoices, almost like I'm billing out every 30 days. That's a good portion, point you brought up, Peter. Like if I do, like right now I do service-based, so I'm getting paid job per job. Hey, Francis, you ready for August 3rd, bro? Thank you. Finishing an ADU. The other contractor started. Thank you. I appreciate you, Mape. Make sure those terms and conditions and those details are on the contract, and then have that crucial conversation. Remember, power versus force. Power versus force. Have the courage to have that conversation. Take a neutral stance, willingness and acceptance, and then reason with the homeowner. Very, very, very proud of you guys. Make sure all those paperwork is breaking it down just the way you need it to. Handling customers that compare quotes to lower your estimate. RK Electrical. RK Electrical. Thank you. Finishing an ADU. Yep. Breaking it down into smaller, more frequent milestone payments help with cash flow. Yep. It reduces large payments up month. Yep. Perfect. Hey, Will, did you go to a contracting school or you just studied and did the test for the C10? So Gallo, quickly, I am not in California. I'm in Connecticut. So in Connecticut and the Northeast, when you go for your contractor's exam, we have to take a business law portion as well as your skilled trades exam. So with the skilled trades exam, that was easy, mainly work experience, and took some code prep classes. But for the business law portion, I already took and minored that in college. So I already had some business understandings, but nothing compared to like running a business. It was just basic stuff. The most meat and potatoes that I learned was actively in business, learning for myself. And I think a lot of you guys can agree. The business and law portion was nothing compared to what you learn in real life, you know? So appreciate you, Gallo. But we're jumping now to RK Electrical. RK Electrical. We have a question. Handling customers that compare quotes to lower your estimate. Remember, we're contractors, guys. We're in the skilled trades. So our question now breaks down to, is it a hard skill question or is it a soft skill? We know this has nothing to do with the physical work itself. Throw hard skills out. Now we're talking about soft skills. Soft skills. Number one is communication. Number one is leadership. Once again, what do I recommend? Power versus force. Power versus force. Power versus force. Leadership and communication skills. So what's the issue at hand? Handling customers that compare quotes to lower your estimate. Here we go. When you go into business, you are now selling yourself. Like what Figueroa said, you're selling your value. Everybody comes into, and we made a post about this. If you need help, I can send you and forward you the post. I made a YouTube video as well. Long forum. When you're going into business, you got to understand we live in America. The beautiful part about it, we are an open market. If you give a price and say, hey, I can do this job for you for $10,000 an hour, as the contractor, you are now putting a value, a price tag to your value, to your services. You have all the right in the world to do though. You have all the rights to do that. Now, vice versa, the customer has the entire right to say, no, thank you. I don't see that you are valued at that price. So that's two sides of the coin. You can charge whatever you want and the customer can say no. You can charge low and the customer can say yes. So we know either extreme is not good. Charge high, the customer says no. Charge low, the customer says yes. But then you charge too low, you go out of business. You charge too high, you don't get any jobs to grow your business. So we understand on the spectrum of things that business is not to either extreme. We have to work in the middle. How do you work in the middle? That's where everyone's playing at. So there's companies who've been established for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and you may be in year one. So how do you compete with someone who's been established for 20 years? For example, we had that conversation. Can you lower your price? We understand you can. Do we recommend lowering your price? We don't recommend going below operating cost. So if you need to adjust your pricing accordingly, feel free to do so. But if you want to charge the same price as the other guys or the bigger guys, the homeowner has the right to say, I want to go with them. Why? It's just like anybody with a job offer, anybody with credibility. If I go to you and I say, hey, have you done this job before? And you can go, oh, I have experience in that. I've been in business for 1 year. And the guy goes to the other guy, 20 years in business, and they say, hey, how are you going to handle this job? He goes, I'm going to do it XYZ. We do this every week. We bang it out. I know the timetable. Boom, 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 boom. Here's the process. This is what we're going to do. The homeowner, if they have the same price, it's going to be a bigger risk to go with you rather than the guy who's been doing it for the last 20 years in the area, established, already has positive reviews while you are trying to make a name for yourself. Now, are there contractors, are there homeowners saying, this guy has been in business 1 year, I want to give him an opportunity? Absolutely. There's guys out there. Absolutely. You're going to find work out there, but it has to be within reason. What's beautiful about America is your overhead is going to be different from his, so you can have a competitive edge. So that's something you want to keep in mind. All right. Either extreme, too high, too low, we know is not good. You got to work in the middle. Once again, this is a soft skill. This is a leadership question. This is a communication question. You have to give and convey your idea, your worth, your value to the homeowner. If they say yes, awesome. If they say no, now take that mentally into no and then track your next 10 jobs. Let's say you give out 10 jobs and all of them say no. You know you're pricing yourself too high now. But then again, just like with Peter Galligan, what we talked about, let's say you go to 10 customers, you give 10 estimates, and they all say yes. Now you know you're too low. So you have to find your own sweet spot. But do not and never go below your operating cost. As long as you know your numbers, you have to understand the homeowner is going to do their work. They're comparing prices. You shouldn't go into business thinking, why is she comparing prices? Why is that homeowner going to check with my competitor? That should be given, bro. You should be coming into business knowing she's going to do that. That's why you have to be competitive from the beginning. That's why you can't wait to be competitive. You have to come in and say, hey, what's going to differentiate me from the rest? This. Perfect. And when you give that estimate, hey, this is our price, but this is the value you're going to get at the end of it. That's what you want to do. But that's a very good question, brother. I'm going to start reading some of the questions now because everyone started blowing it up. So break it down. We're right here. Not every customer is your question, by Peter Galligan. 100%. Figueroa Electric said, sell your value. Yes. Peter Galligan, the biggest thing is the customer has to see the value in what you deliver. 100%. Some people don't care what it looks like as long as it functions. Other people look at it as an investment into your home. That is very, very, very wise words from Peter Galligan. I really appreciate you, brother, for sharing that. I would straight up say, if you want me to match X price, then we can deduct A, B, C from the scope to accommodate your budget. I would straight up say, if you want me to match X price, then we can deduct. Okay, so you're talking about if they don't like your price, we can deduct. I want to hear more about that, Teal. I want to go, or are you comparing yourself to another company? Teal, I want to understand what you meant by that before I agree or disagree with that. But that's a good point. I want to hear those thoughts out. Next thing we have grow with the flow plumbing. When they are shopping and I know it, I come in and go a little lower because I'm a one-man show. Hey, grow with it plumbing. You see, there's a guy who's now reading the room. That's another soft skill. Read the room you're in. Understand, hey, where are they in the scheme of things? Hey, are they a homeowner GC? These are all questions to keep in mind. Got them the job as my customer, then next job, I'll charge them extra. Go with the flow is plumb. You see, but what he's thinking is longevity because you can always win more jobs long term with the customer. The number one customer is a repeat customer. But what does he say? You go with the flow plumbing. You got to sell yourself. Peter comments back. You got to make yourself look better than the competitor. You got to make yourself better than the competitor. Yes, but then the competitor is also, so you have to be prepared is what he's trying to say. You have to be prepared when you're going into these scenarios to show how you differentiate yourself from the competition. New guy has more to gain and lose, in my opinion. I, as a newcomer, have more to prove. Correct. And some GCs, some homeowners love that. Thank you very much, Figueroa, Will, PG, Teal Tech. RK Electric, I'm very proud of you, brother. I want to hear how you go. But remember, when you go into giving an estimate, you should be going in knowing that they're going to compare you to everybody else. That's by default. Just like when we grow up, everyone said, hey, get 2-3 estimates. Don't go for the lowest, don't go for the highest, try to find the middle. There's people out there who are going to check. So don't go in thinking, oh, why are these homeowners going to be checking to compare my prices? We know it's going to happen. It's part of the game. Just keep yourself above water. Make sure you don't go below operating costs. Sell yourself, sell your value, and find ways of differentiating yourself from the rest. I'm very proud of you, brother. Thank you for that question. Anybody else? Questions? Feel free to come on. That's 2 questions that we just got out the way. Appreciate you guys. You guys have been amazing. Those are very 2 good questions. First, about communication. Second, really is about communication too, but how do you sell yourself? How do you differentiate yourself when it comes to the market? Boom, boom, boom. Appreciate you guys. Beautiful. Teal Tech. So if the client wants me to lower my quote because someone else came in lower, then for the operating costs I need to maintain, I can just be like, oh yeah, I'll take 2,000 off, no problem. Okay, cool. So you can lower your prices, but stay above operating cost, which is what everyone can do. Yeah, but you said you would take some work off. What if there's only one scope of work? What if somebody calls me for an outlet swap and they say, and you say $500, and some guy says $450. Your operating cost is $100, for example. Of course, you don't want to go 101 to make $1 profit. You know what I mean? So I just want to know what that means when you're going to operating cost. Tennessee electrician says, I've given quotes and don't hear anything for 2 to 3 weeks. I think I lost the job. Then they hit me up ready to do it. Tennessee replies, they were getting a few other quotes during that time. Peter says the same. So you guys, if you're coming into contracting, just have the understanding that they are going to ask for other estimates. I love guys who come in wholeheartedly into the trades and they say, this is my price, I'm not lowering it. You got to understand, guys, it's an open market. If you come in hard-headed like that, unwilling to have reason and willingness, you're being drawn by your forces of pride. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you guys. Keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. Correct. Have you seen membership style pricing strategies? Correct. That's pretty common. There's a lot of companies where you can go and do that type of work for example, hotels, generator installations. There's a lot of different locations where you can have a membership style and you can continue those contracts. I know Figs just said, he made a story or something about it. He said number 3, and it was, you know, a recurring business stuff, preferred pricing and schedule contracts. Correct. I know plumbings have that a lot. HVAC has that a lot. Electrical, you just have to find the niche for it. So I'm I'm proud of you guys for having already done research on that stuff. Tennessee. Usually the only time I get beat is if some jackleg doing work on the side. I'm cheaper than all of my bigger guys around here. So that's Tennessee trying to differentiate himself from the competition already. Contracts, Teal. So a scenario like that for a one-line item, I would probably go with something like, well, I have a 2-hour minimum charge at X cost is why I'm priced where I'm at. There you go. So Teal is now saying, hey, this is my price because this is my minimum. Bah, 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 bah. If he doesn't get the job, then perfect. He doesn't get the job. The other person might get the job. But when it's stuff like that, you have to keep in mind when you go into competition, anybody can say whatever price they want. And true or not, guys, we got to think level-headed right now. We can say we are worth this. How many times do you go in and you say, hey, I'm worth this, and the customer says no? We have to be reasonable. We understand not everyone's going to buy. Just like what Peter said, we understand we're not everyone's customer. But the thing we want to keep in mind is, are we losing more than gaining? And that's where you adjust your pricing. That's where you understand what the market dictates your worth. If I say I'm going to charge $10,000 an hour, I'm not going to take anything less, and I only get one job out of a month, I am bleeding money. I'm going to go out of business, right? If I say 5,000 and I get 10 out of 10 jobs, then I go 7,500. And now I'm in the middle. We're constantly busy. We have time for flexibility. We still have money to grow, and we're still making a profit. That's things that you have to keep in mind. That's things we have to keep in mind. That's one of my biggest pet peeves coming into the trades and hearing someone say, don't go below your prices. And then I said, what's your price? He goes, just industry standard. They don't even know what they're worth. On paper, they don't know what they're worth. Basically, if they lost everything, they wouldn't know how long they would be in business for. That is reckless. You need to know your operating costs, guys. I'm very proud of you guys. Let's see. Teal X costs. What's everyone's 2-hour minimum price? I do a 1-hour minimum. 302. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm at 160 an hour for 2-hour minimum. So 320. I'm at 320 for 2-hour minimum. Figs is 375. You see? All in the same ballpark, Ron. All in the same ballpark. So it looked like Peter, you don't have room to lower your prices. No, I'm joking, bro. No. But what I'm trying to say is that's what's the beautiful thing about the market. We're in 3 different states and you see 3 different prices. I love that. P, 150 an hour, 2-hour minimum for electrical pricing. Integration is a different animal. Understood. Okay, yeah. So we're talking about that stuff too. Yeah. So it's all taken into consideration, guys. Proud of you guys. We have those 2 questions took up a lot of time. Oh shoot, Teal. He gives that for family only. Wow, those 2 questions, guys. You guys knocked it out the park. It's already been 45 minutes. Do you guys have one more question you guys want to process together, or are you guys already ready to call it a night? It's already 10:04, 10:05. Up to you guys. We'll give it a minute. If you got a question, throw it down below. If not, we can call it a night. And I'll take this time to say how appreciative I am of you guys. You guys are awesome. I love the community that we're building up. The fact that everyone's talking to each other, not nervous, asking questions. Genuinely, people are asking for help. So that's going to be awesome. We over here have a great group of guys. You guys are doing amazing. So keep it up. Keep learning from each other. Keep asking questions, guys. This is a new community we're going to be building, and we have to keep working together. Remember, here, just me in general, and Energize Us, we are in the business of building future builders and leaders. All right? You guys keep pushing your message. Keep holding that high standard. August 3rd, next week, Saturday, is the meetup at my house. If you guys want to bring your families, if you want to bring your spouses, feel free to. Connecticut, we already have a few people showing up. We have everyone from Massachusetts, New York, upstate, and New York City. Then we have people from Jersey, Pennsylvania, all swinging by. So if you guys are going to come next week, send me a message. I still have to make that post. I am so sorry I didn't make the graphic for it yet, but I'll make the graphic. But we already have like 10 people showing up, 5 people showing up with their spouses, so a total of 10. We can get the wives together because we understand when the wives get together, they'll let us hang out more. So think strategic, guys, all right? But August 3rd, my house, we're going to do a simple barbecue. We got some Brazilian meat coming. We got some picanha that we're going to chop up for you guys. So hopefully you guys come hungry. We're going to have a lot of meat. We're going to have a lot of rice, a lot of beans, salad, veggies, very simple Mediterranean style food. So I appreciate you guys. Everybody have a good night. If you guys need anything, if you have questions, concerns, Teal, if you want to come over, we're going to meet up next week at my house in Connecticut. So if you want to come for lunch, dinner, come on over. We got Connecticut Sparky, MA Master Sparky, New York Sparky, Stelman. We got Francis. We're tentative waiting on Figs and Peter Galligan. You guys, but we got Justin Clement. He's over here in Massachusetts already going to come over. We got 2 HVAC individuals coming, and we have a special guest coming as well. So we also have, you all know Patrick Bet-David, our business advisor, right? Patrick Bet-David, author, owner of the Yankees, owner of Valuetainment. So we have Patrick Bet-David. He's sending his #1 sales guy. He's sending Leo. So when I work with PBD, I run my questions and processes through Leo. And then we come up, and when we talk with Pat, we work together to figure out what's the next step. Leo's been working with me for the last year now with PBD, and they've been helping me tremendously grow our company. So we broke down, we're going to talk about 3 things that day. We're going to talk about what's it like being an electrical contractor, the good, bad, and ugly, what to expect in your first 5 years of business. Then we're going to talk about know your pricing. And third, we are going to talk about, what was the topic? We just wrote it down today. Good, bad, ugly, know your pricing. And shoot, I got stumped. I just wrote it down. I'll write it back on the flyer. That's going to be on the graphic today. The graphic when we write it up. If you tell me 50-foot wire run, I'm still charging $250. You guys are crazy. But let me jump to the comments. I pre-screen. Yo, I drove through Connecticut coming back from Virginia Beach too. There we go. Tennessee, you learn number to use over time. Took me longer to get back to B-Town from then I got work from VA to come up for footages of the labor here. Tennessee, if a person is far, I have to do an estimate. I usually ask for pictures. Good. Peter, if they say 50 feet, August 3rd, right, Will. Correct. Next Saturday. So next Saturday, we're going to be meeting up. So if you guys want to come for the day, grab some dinner, and then head on home. It's going to be from 12 o'clock if you want to show up to 8 p.m. So you guys can still make it home by 8, 9, 10 o'clock, depending on how far you guys are. Well, come on over, grab some food, meet some people. It's the contractors again. A lot of the guys who went to the New York Times Square, but also we have New York Sparky, MA Master Sparky Roberto. We got a whole bunch of individuals who are going to be coming over. So can't wait to have you guys all at the house. August 3rd, we're going to have a nice barbecue going. So we got some Brazilian steak, some Brazilian sausages, Brazilian meats. We're going to take care of you guys. We're going to have some fun. And then we have Patrick Bet-David, his #1 sales guy. His #1 sales guy, Leo. Leo is going to be talking about processes with us as well. So he's going to show you how sales, how it's very different when it comes to the skill trades. So we're going to be giving that little presentation for you guys. But everybody, hope you guys have a great night. I appreciate your comments today, your questions. We talked about too, how to communicate with a homeowner or a customer. That's a homeowner GC, how to get paid by terms of your contract. We understand that's a soft skill. We understand that's a hard conversation, crucial conversations you have to have with them. Second one, is how do you handle customers asking for estimates to compare you to others to lower your price? Remember, that's another soft skill to handle. It's communication, leadership. You have to know and expect the homeowner's going to change and charge and check on 2 to 3 different contractors compared to your price. Remember, where are you on the spectrum? Are you a power player or are you led by your forces? Have the courage, willingness, neutral approach, acceptance, reasoning when you come to having those hard conversations with your customers. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Be safe. If you guys need anything, feel free to send me a message. Happy Friday, guys. Spend it with your family. Enjoy them. Give them a kiss from me. Enjoy, guys. Bye. Woo! We had a good masterclass, everybody. Thank you. Have a good night.